Hi, I'm Vera Queen. My genius dad and I had always been the best buddies, and when I was just 7, I helped him build a plane.
Firecracker, it's not playtime yet. Come, screw this nut for me. You'll see, love. This plane is going to make me super popular.
You mean us? We're a team.
Yes, Firecracker, us.
Dad was an aerospace engineer, and he was working on inventing a remote-controlled plane. But when he finally thought it was ready and chose to show it to the world, that day, the plane refused to fly. Things were not the same between Mom and Dad after that. Mom began to pick fights with him every day.
You silly man! You spent years working on that stupid invention! Now you're a failure! You should crawl up in a hole and stay there!
To make things worse, Dad's invention that failed him was all over the news. It broke his heart, and Mom wouldn't even let me comfort him.
You poor thing. Must have been hard with Dad forcing you to work on that plane with him.
He didn't force me. I loved working with him.
Days later, Dad just packed up and left without a goodbye. I was so sad and angry at Mom for making him go away. It didn't help that Mom also began to act like she doesn't remember I exist. Sometimes she would go to work without dropping me off at school, or forget to keep something for me to eat. She was terrible. One day we went grocery shopping together, and she met an old friend of hers.
Is this your daughter? Yeah, she's so pretty. What's her name again? Her name is... Sweetie, what's your name again?
Is that a serious question? Real moms don't forget their children's names, ever!
I was so angry I left them there and went home. But on getting home, all the anger melted away at the sight of my favorite thing in the world.
The baby that would take me places. Ready to fly, or still scared.
It was the plane I had watched and helped my dad build as a kid. I missed my dad so much. And even though my mom was against it, I hoped that if I fixed the plane, he would come out of hiding and be a proud engineer again.
Vera Queen, get out from there this instant!
Mom, just a few minutes.
I've told you to stop wasting time with that plane. Your dad wouldn't listen too, until it failed him.
This is practice for the future, Mom. I want to be an aerospace engineer like Dad.
Sounds like a fancy way of saying you want to be a failure like Dad. You will never touch that plane again,
or what? You will make me go away like you did, Dad? What do you even care? You can't even remember my name.
Get out, or I'll set that plane on fire.
At her threat, I left the garage like the devil was after me because I couldn't bear the thought of Dad's hard work going to waste like that. The tension between Mom and I worsened after that, but to my surprise, 4 days later, she surprised me with a cake for my 16th birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
It warmed my heart, but
I turned 16 5 days ago, Mom.
I know, sweetie, I just remembered. I am so sorry I forgot.
Well, I can't reject this yummy-looking cake.
Then take a bite.
The moment I swallowed a few bites, I began to choke.
Mom, did you put peanut butter in this?
Yeah? Why?
How could you? I'm allergic to peanut.
I couldn't say anything else because I lost consciousness. When I woke up, it was in the hospital, with the witch I called my mom crying beside me.
I see your plan to kill me failed. Oh, Vera, please don't say that. I completely forgot you have a strong allergy to peanut butter. I swear.
You're a big liar. Unless you're sick in the head or something. How can you forget your own child's allergy?
Please let me make it up to you. Let me take you on a trip to Barbados so you can abandon me at the airport and claim you forgot you had a child? No way!
Even though Mom seemed genuine, I refused to forgive her. Her explanations just didn't make sense. 2 weeks later, Mom came back with a guy she introduced as Smoke.
He will be watching over you, at home and in school.
Wait, you got me a nanny? Why?
Don't question me! Look, even has a cute dog.
His name is Bruno.
You just want to make sure I don't go near that plane, don't you? You may as well plant cameras to monitor me. I went to bed fuming. I couldn't stand a stranger looking over my shoulder.
Knock, knock. I got you some dinner since you skipped it.
Oh, so you're my mommy now?
Look, Vera, your mom is not in a very good place right now.
Who are you to tell me about my mom? Leave! I am not hungry!
Smoke kept the food on the floor before he left, and I devoured everything in seconds. Despite my best efforts, Mom refused to budge on making Smoke leave, and I had almost given up when I noticed something that made me decide to take matters into my own hands. Smoke was in love with my mom! I could clearly see it in his eyes whenever he was talking to her. One day, we had dinner out, and my mom began to choke. Smoke flew to her, like freaking Batman.
Drink water, ma'am.
You don't have to pat her back, mister. I went to do it myself, but Mom leaned away from me and further into Smoke.
Thanks, Smoke. You're doing it just right.
I was mad. I didn't even have enough of my mom to share with someone else. True, she was a meanie, but she was all I had. He had to disappear, like the smoke he was. So I turned to the dog I could see he loved so much.
Sup, Bruno? I'm gonna give you a makeover. Now you look stunning.
But when I made to stroke the dog, some of his fur began to come off and I was horrified. I felt so guilty that at the sound of my mom and Smoke coming in, I ran away to hide in the plane. While I hid, my eyes fell on 2 disconnected wires. I joined them back and experimentally pressed the remote. To my shock, after years of trying to revive the plane, it geared to life.
It works! I am gonna fly, baby!
Knock, knock.
I shrank when I saw Smoke at the window with Bruno.
I am so sorry. I just wanted to change his color so you could get mad enough to leave. I didn't know it would make him shed his fur. Forgive me.
Under one condition. You're coming with your mom and I to Barbados this coming holiday.
The last thing I wanted to do was join my mom on a trip where she was likely to embarrass me. But if that was what I could do to redeem myself, fine. And that was how I found myself about to board a plane with Mom, Bruno, and Smoke. I was quickly uncomfortable with the men that would fly us. Is there a reason why the 2 of you look like you haven't slept in ages?
Oh, don't mind my daughter. Her mouth has no filter.
We boarded the plane, and soon we were up in the sky. While Mom and Smoke chatted like an old couple, I was all by myself. Suddenly, the sound of snoring from the cockpit reached my ears.
Hey, those pilots are sleeping. I told you they looked extra droopy.
Really? That means...
Don't listen to her. She just wants to ruin this trip.
Mom, I swear this is not a—
Silence!
Mom and Smoke continued talking, and I felt like weeping because seconds later, our plane was spinning in the air.
Oh, 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 oh! Oh God, we're gonna die!
Attention passengers, please grab the parachute in the compartment above you. May the odds be in your favor.
You idiot pilots!
I hadn't used a parachute before, but from the movies I had watched, it couldn't be so hard. We all jumped out of the plane, but the movies had deceived me. I couldn't activate the parachute and I just fell. I woke up to something licking my face. Bruno? Good boy. And found myself tangled up in some vines hanging from a tree. There were so many trees.
Help! Mom! Smoke! Sleepy pilots!
Oh God, was Mom okay? I didn't know how she landed. Gently, I got down from the tree and gasped when I saw a cluster of eggs half my height. The size of the eggs was pointing to a very giant beast around. I opened my mouth to scream for help, but just then, I saw a huge shadow ahead. It was the head of a
Dinosaur!
I took to my heels with Bruno right behind me. I couldn't tell for how long I had ran before I crashed into someone. Tears of relief filled my eyes when I saw who it was.
Mom, it's you! Oh, I am so happy.
Who are you?
You must have hit your head somewhere. It's me, Vera.
Stay away from me!
And just like that, she took off running like a freaking antelope. Bruno chased after her. I made to follow, but I tripped over some really hard, giant poop and fell flat on my face.
Oh! Ah! Don't eat me! I swear, I am very bitter.
Eat you? What are you talking about?
I scrambled to my feet and my jaw dropped. The dinosaur had a human body.
Smoke? I don't know if it's evolution or something, but you kind of have a dinosaur head.
What? Oh, must have fallen on me when I fell. I think this place is an abandoned site for shooting a Jurassic movie. Plastic dino eggs, plastic dino poop.
I get it. Look, my mom, I just saw her and she took off like she doesn't know who I am. Bruno is with her too.
Oh no, we have to find them.
We searched endlessly for hours, and when it began to get dark, I began to lose hope.
Oh, Mom! Will I ever see her again? I know she's the worst, but I still love her.
You know, your mom doesn't forget things about you because she wants to.
Yeah, it's because she doesn't care.
No, she has early onset dementia. Forgetting things is a part of it, and that's why she hired me. Not to look after you, but her also. I am her live-in nurse.
Wait, all this while, she's just been suffering from memory loss? She won't remember me again?
I wanted to tell you earlier that night in your room, because she wouldn't. But her forgetting you today might just be the trauma of falling out of the plane.
My heart was in shreds for making things difficult for my already sick mom.
What if I never see her again?
Smoke comforted me and asked we rest in a small clearing. We had just made a fire when the sound of something snorting behind us made us tremble. Smoke was before me in a flash like freaking commando.
It's a wild boar. Run! I'll distract it.
I was about to run, but the sight of a dinosaur costume on the ground gave me an idea.
Roar! I am gonna have pork for dinner!
To my delight, the pig turned and ran with its ears tucked in.
How was that roar?
Dinosaurs don't roar, but thanks for saving my life.
You wanted to save mine first, so thanks too. For the rest of the night, I talked with Smoke, and I found he was a super cool guy. When morning came, we were ready to look for Mom again, but we didn't know where to start. Then I noticed some bright orange fur on the grass.
Look, that's Bruno's fur!
It leaves a trail. Might lead to your mom.
We did, and just as we were about to enter a clearing, someone pounced on Smoke from behind.
It was Mom! Oh, Vera, Smoke!
I rushed to her and hugged her, and Mom hugged me too.
Mom, I am so sorry for being mad at you. You should have just told me you were sick. Oh dear, I didn't want you to worry. But when I forgot your allergy, I got scared and had to call Smoke to help.
How do we get back home from here? There's no sign of the plane or pilots anywhere.
Maybe we can get a flight home.
Vera, he just said we can't find the plane.
I took out the remote from my plane and pressed the power button. Just watch, Mom. Have faith and pray. It took 2 hours, but like a dream come true, my plane landed in the clearing without a human pilot. Mom and Smoke's jaws dropped to the ground.
Unbelievable! You did it!
Just as we had settled in, the droopy-eyed pilots came out of the bush at full speed.
Please take us with you.
We were all mad at them for the trouble we went through, but we let them in anyway. At home, our yard filled with reporters and the police. They had seen my plane fly off without a pilot, and everyone wanted to know about it.
Miss Vera, please say something for the millions of people watching you now.
Dad, if you're watching this, I want you to see that I have proved the world wrong. Your remote-controlled plane is not a joke. Please, come back home.
Oh, Vera, I am so sorry I didn't believe you or your dad.
I was proud too, but sadly, Dad didn't show up that day. However, thanks to my invention, after I graduated high school, I got a scholarship to study aerospace engineering at a big university just like I dreamed. Smoke and Mom saw me off on my first day.
Don't worry, I'll take care of Mom.
Smoke and Mom were dating now, and I couldn't have asked for a better stepdad to be. I know you're Mr. Capable.
Thanks.
I was talking about Bruno.
What?
Just then, I saw a man staring at us through his creepy shades. He hid like an ostrich when I looked his way. I brushed it off, and after taking some pictures with Mom and Smoke, we bade each other goodbye. As I was making my way to the campus, the spooky guy from before began to follow me.
Hey, creep, what do you want?
I almost fainted when he pulled off his shades.
My firecracker. You're still as pretty and feisty as ever.
Dad had a lot of explaining to do, but for now, I rushed into his arms.
I knew you'd come back.
My lesson from all this is treat everyone with kindness, because just a little bit of goodness can go a long way. What else did you learn? Please share in the comment section below. I will be reading.